This is a wonderful project. Boeing is a wonderful company. I'm extremely excited that they chose to come to South Carolina. I think they came here, would like to think they came here, because we've got one of the best ports in the world with Charleston. We've got a great technical college system. We've got low property taxes. We have right to work built into our state constitution. We have a lot of things going for us as a state that helps us attract industry. But what I would submit to you is where the state should stop is in taking money from other taxpayers and giving it to another private party in the name of economic development. That has proven to fail, and I think it's a dangerous precedent.
Senator, were you aware of a new biography of the President Calvin Coolidge? Were you aware of that?
I'm in the middle of reading it right now.
Really, I am too.
Yeah, The Silent Cow from Vermont.
Yeah. And matter of fact, I might be correct in saying that when he took office, when he left office, federal government was shrunk during his term, and he might be the only president. Is that correct, or one of the few?
I'm at the part now where he just won re-election to a second term as governor, and they're thinking about making him a vice president candidate with Hoover. So I haven't gotten to the part where he's president. But you're right, though, that when he left the federal government, I think it's probably the only time in American history, one of the few times, that the size and scope of federal government was actually less than when he took office. And I think that if we're talking about the road to recovery, and we're talking about recovering this idea of being an American and the idea of the American dream, it's really centered upon life, liberty, and property. I mean, that's what our framers set up a federal government to do: protect life, liberty, and property. And it didn't set it up. It didn't set government up to go ahead and be a guarantor of economic security. It didn't set up government to be an allocator of capital. In fact, I think this particular notion would absolutely horrify anybody, that was in public office, 30 or 40 years ago. I mean, the idea that we're going to come forward and have the state borrow $120 million, paid back by taxpayers throughout the state, and to take that money and essentially give it to another third party, that's just not right, Senator from Anderson. I mean, it's not right from an economic standpoint, and that it doesn't promote good economic policy. But quite frankly, it's not right from a moral standpoint. It's theft. It's taking money and giving it to another party. And I don't care how noble your purpose is or how altruistic you want to be, the fact remains, at the end of the day, regardless of how noble your cause was, you took money from one private individual and you directly gave it to another. And I just don't think that's right.
Senator, I haven't gotten to this portion in the book yet, but there's a term that I believe is credited to Calvin Coolidge about the forgotten man. Have you heard that? The forgotten man is a taxpayer. But we're taking this a step further, Senator. I believe in this situation where we're borrowing money on the backs of our children and future generations, we have a forgotten child. Nobody's remembering the child that's going to have high taxes. We're essentially raising taxes on our children to pay back this flavor factory that's going on.
The senator from Charleston, Senator Campson, has stated this very well in the past, in that the benefit is focused, but the burden is diffuse. And so the benefit is very focused in regard to a particular entity seeking the incentive, but the burden is borne by multitudes of people who really don't have the time to get together and to lobby and to push back for them. Okay, so you have a situation where, nobody's there really to fight back and push back. And I feel like that is our job. I feel like that's our job. And so this has nothing to do with Boeing. I'm standing here and opposing this incentive bill like I opposed the Amazon incentive bill, like I opposed the Assembler incentive bill, like I've imposed other incentive bills, because I think any time the government steps in and starts to pick winners and losers, that's moving away from the capitalist economic system that's made this country the wealthiest nation in the history of the world.
Mr. President.
Senator from Anderson.
Got one more question for
He's still yielding to you.
Senator yields.
Senator, sounds like to me that the forgotten child does have a lobbyist, and that's in you, and I appreciate your remarks.
Thank you, sir.